Well, it sure has been interesting listening to all these conversations about how to make t-shirts and french fries and Milo and books. So I really appreciate you diving into the systems behind this and really trying to examine it in terms of its energy and what it takes to produce. So I haven't rehearsed this yet. I just kind of want to fly by the seat of our pants, and I want to look at t-shirts as an example to see if your thinking has been matching mine. So I have not tried this before, so we'll see how this goes. I'm going to try to draw how to make a t-shirt, right? So I guess if I view this as an endpoint, I have my t-shirt here in the middle. So I'm going to assume that this is a typical cotton t-shirt. So I do know that I need to start somewhere with cotton. So up here is going to be my cotton plant. Not really sure how to do that, but there we go, cotton plant. And I actually had to do a little bit of research to figure out like what are the steps involved from the cotton plant becoming a t-shirt. So I found this website that talks about from the field to the gin to the spinner to the loom, wet processing to the garment factory to the clothing company and the store. Oh my goodness. Okay, so basically it's saying that every t-shirt starts out in a cotton field, which requires a lot of, actually, I found out a lot of water to maintain. And then it goes to the gin, where the cotton is actually separated from its seeds, and you just get like the purified cotton. And then the spinner makes it into thread. The loom makes it into like the actual fabric. Then we process the fabric at the wet processing, and we give the fabric its typical like soft t-shirt feel, maybe some colors and that type of thing. And then it goes to the garment factory, where they actually cut it and stitch it into a t-shirt. And then they give it to a store and you can buy it. All right, so let's see if I can quickly model that. I don't want this video to be really long. But somehow I have to take that plant and make it into cotton thread, right? Thread, if I can spell that, okay? And then that thread has to become the actual cloth. The hatching represents the stitching, so it's got to become a cloth, okay? And then that cloth is going to go under processing. So my end product is like, now it's cloth with colors on it and stuff. Maybe I'll just do that. So we'll call processed fabric that has been cut into the shape of a t-shirt. Cool. Okay. And so then that gives me my final product, I guess. But I guess the life cycle of once the t-shirt's made, I still have to go to the store, right? So here's my store, Wally World store, okay? Where then it is actually taken home by a person. This is the consumer. Fantastic. And then for that person to continue wearing it, what I researched is that I actually need to like clean and dry it. And then that person can continue wearing it, so the consumer wearing it. Okay, so I've kind of outlined the steps here. Maybe yours looks something like this, maybe it doesn't. Just to look at a few things in more detail. What's interesting, I found out from this document I found online that did a study of the of the carbon footprint of one t-shirt, is that, yeah, in the raw materials like the cotton and the manufacturing, you use a bunch of energy that results in carbon dioxide emissions, which maybe you know leads to some global warming issues that we're experiencing. And the screen printing does too. Transportation, where do you think transportation comes into the life of a t-shirt? Well, probably at a lot of different places, right? Moving all those different parts around. Packaging as well. The retail, like maintaining the stores that sell them. But the majority of the impact of a t-shirt comes from the consumer actually just washing it and drying it and wearing it again. And then obviously this impact when you throw it away. So you got the raw materials compared to the consumer use. So I might want to reflect that in here. First of all, I don't have transportation anywhere, right? So I guess in between all these points, I'm going to write a T for transportation. These are all transported to different locations. from the store into your house. And then maybe I want to start using some different color like you had to do in your assignment to represent the energy. So energy, okay, so we have maybe some farm equipment, have electrical energy, right? Electrical energy. I have light energy from the sun maintaining the plant. And then to turn it into a thread, I have electrical energy that runs the factory where it's turned into thread. Same thing here. I'm just going to use an E for electrical. Same to process it, as well as maybe some chemical energy here to dye it. Then we have at the store, I have electrical energy to actually light up the store, right? And here the transportation should all have some sort of, sorry, that should be a C. Transportation should all have a C next to it too for the chemical energy it takes to fuel that. Okay, cool. And then to clean and dry it, I'm talking about laundry machines. Maybe you hang dry, maybe you use a dryer. So that's a bunch more electrical energy to run those devices. And then we also want to think about where does that electrical energy come from? Would be fossil fuels, right? So maybe I should actually have that on here. I should have a power plant on here somewhere. I don't know how we're making power. It depends on what country we're in, how that power is made, but mainly that is from coal or fossil fuels, right? Okay, so then that is what's giving power to all the E's I see here. My goodness, this is getting crazy. Whoa. Whoa, whoa. Okay, so, and then if I think back where fossil fuels comes from, maybe I'm talking about plants and they originally got that from the sun and blah, blah, blah. But I'm thinking now, realizing all the energy use that's here, I probably need to add another node that would be carbon dioxide, right? Because at each of these steps, carbon dioxide is being released, right? So maybe at all these transportations, I should have carbon dioxide being released. Oh my goodness, you see how this can get out of control? Okay. So carbon dioxide released in all these processes. So then if carbon dioxide is a big part of the energy result of my diagram, well then maybe I need to start thinking about the effect of carbon dioxide. So then I maybe have like, well, temperature rise, right? Carbon dioxide results in temperature rise, and that temperature rise could, let's say there's many effects of that temperature rise that we haven't gotten into yet, but one could be ice caps melting, that type of thing. So the sea level is rising, and maybe some countries are going underwater and homes are being lost and that type of thing. I don't know, that's just one possible result. We haven't gotten into this much, but there's many possible results. So that's one way to look at the energy and its eventual impact that you could have done in your diagram. Let me see if there's one other thing from here I wanted to show you. I do want to show you something positive. Where did that little diagram go? So this study actually also used companies that and agriculture and manufacturing processes that try to conserve energy and use more renewable energy sources, and they found that they could cut the energy in one t-shirt by 91% and make it much more sustainable. So I thought that was a really positive, and so you can see that they were able to cut down a ton in the manufacturing of the raw materials. 62% was cut just there, and the consumer use, you could still clean and dry your shirt, but the life impact of that shirt could be reduced if it was produced sustainably. So I found that also to be super interesting. There's this website, World Wildlife Foundation, that did a big study of the impacts of the cotton t-shirt, and I just want you to I want to play this video for you to kind of end our thinking about this. One aspect we didn't talk about is the water impact of your t-shirt. It's not in our energy unit, but I still think it's important to consider since we're talking about how these products are made. So I'm going to play this.
I'm excited to continue this conversation with us. Please respond to the questions I have posted.